And then they, oh my gosh, the female just flew out. It is foraging right behind me. Yep, got it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ben. I like birds. This morning I am looking for the extremely rare Kirtland's Warbler. So the Kirtland's Warbler breeds up in Michigan and Wisconsin in these jack pine forests. There are actually only 2 site records of this species in the county where I am right now, which is Alachua County in north central Florida. One was in 2013 and one was back in like the early 1900s. So when I say this bird is rare, I mean this bird is really rare. And there's a lot of people who look for this bird every year and never find it. So not very likely that I'll find one, but if you never look, you never find anything. So I'm giving it my best shot. I'm gonna start in this kind of scrubby habitat, then work my way over into some kind of upland pine. I don't have my tripod today. I'll mostly be focusing on taking photos and just trying to find as many birds as possible. But for now, I'm gonna fully focus on birding and hopefully try to find a Kirtland's Warbler. As you can tell, there are a lot of birds singing right now. There's a lot of action around here, and I'm excited to see what I can find. I actually just came across a small flock of palm warblers, which overwinter here in the state of Florida. And they are mostly done migrating through, but there are still a few lingering left, making their way north to breed. And I actually got a really good photo of one, so I'll show that to you guys now. This next bird I photographed is a female eastern towhee. This is a very familiar species to those in the eastern United States. Its chocolate brown head, breast, orange flanks, and dark back are very distinct. You hear that kind of buzzing? That's a blue-gray gnatcatcher. There, it's kind of flying across. Oh, it's catching gnats, actually, like it's supposed to. There we go. Look at that. That is really cool. There's actually like a little flock of gnats in the air, and it is just snacking away. All right, I am now moving out of the more scrubby habitat into like the upland pine and oak forest. I think this is really the more ideal habitat. If there was to be one, there's a red-bellied woodpecker flying by. If there was to be one out here, you know, the 1 in 1 million chance, but I'm gonna keep looking. There's a family of tufted titmice making those kind of whiny calls. It's pretty cool. I've birded this place before, but in the context of Kirtland's Warbler migration, it does seem a little, it's more exciting to bird here, basically. There's a lot of like scrubby habitats and dense bushes and open ground too for them to forage in. There's actually a pileated woodpecker on this tree right behind me. I don't know if I can get him in the video or not. Right there. I'll get a photograph for you guys. Guys, I'm serious. This is one of the coolest experiences I've had with a pileated woodpecker. It is foraging right behind me on this tree. And what makes it so cool is that 1, it's not afraid of me. And 2, it's foraging in these like lower branches here, looking for bugs. And so it does not really mind my presence. This is really cool. I just heard a bobolink fly over. It's this migratory kind of grassland songbird. But anyways, that pileated woodpecker was, I mean, that just made my morning. So whether or not I find a Kirtland's Warbler, I'm very happy. So I'm walking back and I happened to notice a couple of bluebirds off the side of the trail, and one of them, the female, is kind of perched up on the side of this old burnt dead tree stump. And I'm wondering if it has a nest in there. Some blue jays going off at something, but I'm just gonna go check it out, see if there's a bluebird nest. It might be cool. So of course it could be total coincidence that I just happened to see the female on this tree here, but that's the one I'm talking about, just kind of that dead stump. They are cavity nesters, so if there is a cavity on the other side of that tree stump, then there's a good chance there might be a nest in there. So this should go without saying, but obviously if there is a nest in there, We want to disturb the birds as little as possible, so I'm just gonna walk up, see if there's anything, and then like, oh my gosh, the female just flew out. There's definitely a cavity here. I can't really see down there too well. Well, I just turned my flash on and check that out. There are eggs in there. That is amazing. Well, I'm gonna leave right away because I don't want the female to abandon the nest or anything, but that is a really cool little find. Parents are flitting away up there, definitely wary of my presence. So I'm gonna leave this alone and keep birding. That is an awesome thing to find, wow. And I'm just gonna shout out prescribed burning real quick because this area does get prescribed burns and they are super vital to providing dead trees and snags and nesting habitat for these birds. All right, well, I just walked up on, and I just saw it here, one of the prettiest moths. There it is. Oh my goodness, it's like white and pink. One of the prettiest moths I've ever seen. Look at that. That is crazy. Well, this morning just keeps getting cooler and cooler, so I'm taking pictures of that crazy looking moth I just saw, and a pine warbler just pops up in this little low scrub and starts singing. That is so cool. I might actually be able to catch it. Yep, got it. You ready to see it? Look at that. Wow. There's a gopher tortoise burrow right here. It's very active. You can tell by all these tracks. Have not seen the tortoise though. So something very ironic just happened. I just saw a yellow-rumped warbler, which in the wintertime is like the most common warbler species, but due to it being late May and most of them having migrated north by now, it's actually giving me a rare bird alert on eBird. So I'll try to get a picture of it. I'm not exactly sure where it went, but not a Kirtland's warbler, but a very late out of season yellow-rumped warbler, which is kind of cool. So I didn't have any luck relocating that yellow-rumped warbler, but I did find a pair of brown thrashers, which are one of my favorite kind of common birds around here. They're a breeding bird, and I found a male and a female. They're hanging out together and the male was singing. So I got some video of that. He was kind of way up in a pine tree. And then for a second, he dropped down and kind of foraged in the leaf litter right in front of me, and I got some really good pictures of that. All right, well, the Kirtland's warbler has once again avoided me, but I think it was a very successful morning of bird watching. I got some really cool experiences, like with that pileated woodpecker. That bluebird nest, I think, was definitely the highlight of the morning. I got some really up close experiences with like the brown thrasher, the pine warbler that I got really close. So I'm really happy with how all those things turned out, and even that little moth. So many just cool things you can get out and see this time of year. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.